everybody, and today we are going to make the puzzle cube from all the parts we had made last week. So let's take a look at a completed puzzle cube so you can see how this all went together. So I have all my individual parts, and what we did is create an assembly from all those different sub-assemblies. We used these different mates up on here. So we used a fastened mate, and I also used a planar mate to create this cube. And essentially what we're doing is we're trying to remove all the different degrees of freedom from the parts so that they interlock as it would in real life. So we're going to get to it and start with this. What I'll do is I'll start with this green one and then blue one, show you how they met together, and then we'll slowly kind of start using the different planar mates and fasten mates to get it together. All right, so here we go. So let's close this document. I'm going to create a new assembly. All right, so I'm going to go create. And I'm going to go to document right here. So I'm going to create a brand new document and import in everything. So we'll call this puzzle cube 2. Okay. And that is going to be the start of what we have. And we see on the bottom we have assembly. I'm going to jump right into that. I'm going to go to insert. I'm going to bring in all my different parts. So we're going to go to other documents, my Onshape, and I have them all in a folder. So let's go to puzzle cube. And I'm going to start bringing these in. And I can go to assembly. So part studios, then assemblies. There's the assembly, and we insert it right in. Now, sometimes when you do this, it may ask you to create a version from that. You go ahead and create the version. So now we go back to other documents, Onshape. Oops. And let's bring in the pieces, assemblies. Somehow check mark. Okay, and we're just going to place these in. Back button. All right, it doesn't matter the order at which we bring them in. And we got one more here, this orange one. Now, I don't remember how this goes together, so this should be a little interesting. All right, so there's all my parts. Let's hit check. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ground or fix this one in space here. So I'm going to click on it, and that's this assembly here. I'm going to right-click on it here. So let's go like this, right-click on it, and hit fix. So now you'll see it's got the little symbol right here. So this, if we go to click on it, notice it doesn't move, and that little red and white thing shows up. Now let's move some of this out of the way. And this blue one is the first one I want. So this one's going to come in like this, and notice I can just move it in, but it's not how it's assembled. So I'm going to click. First one I'm going to do is the planar. So planar mate. I'm going to select this side and this side. All right, we'll hit the check mark. So it looks like it's good. And that's it. So now, let's just hit escape. Notice when this moves, it moves in that same plane. So we're removing the different degrees of freedom, right? So now we have this one plane like this, so it can't go like that. I'm now going to line up these two planes right here, and that's going to stop it from going that way. So I can go same thing, planar mate. Select those two sides, hit my check mark, and now they're in that way. Let's hit escape so we can just look. And now you can see it only can move up and down. And what I'm going to do here is another planar mate right here. I could probably do a fasten at this point, but I'm just going to use the planar mate, and it's fine. Sometimes using a fasten will work, but it'll get a little wonky and throw it out. I feel like this is probably one of the easier ways of doing it. Planar mate, solve, and now that piece is completely locked in. And that's it. So now what we need to do is go around and continue with the rest of the parts. All right, so I'm going to hit the check there. So I'm going to take this one. It should come in right around there. So if we look, let's bring it in a little bit closer. So this one is going to go in, something like that. All right, so let's start with some planar mates again. Let's do the bottom. You can really assemble this whole thing with the planar mate. Check. All right, let's get the back end here. Check that. And so far, so good. I'm just going to hit the X mark. Let's see which way this moves. So it's going to move in and out. So at this point, I can create a planar mate right here. So let's do that. And there we have it. That's completely locked into place. The next one, I believe, is the yellow one. I believe that one comes in over here. So let's do this. All right. And it looks like this piece might need to be rotated. So in order, oops. Right here. So just by clicking on it, and I can rotate the piece around. It doesn't go that way. Actually, I need to rotate this way. Just like that. So that's how that block's going to kind of go in. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to do a planar mate. I'm going to do this surface with that one right there. Okay, so I'm going to hit the escape key and pull this over. All right, so that one's going to go inside there. So I'm going to do a mate with the bottom. And I should be able to move it this way, so let's do a mate right there. So we're removing all the degrees of freedom from this. And now we're just going to click on this, and let's rotate this kind of into view. So we don't even need to do this, but it just makes it easier to assemble. All right, and then that one's going to fit in there. So let's do that. Some more planar mates. And now if the plane doesn't line up, I'll show you with the next one. Right, so let's do this side here. If the plane doesn't line up the way you want, you can hit this X right here. And notice it reorients the plane like this or like that. But I'm going to hit that back. Hit the check mark. And now, let's escape. Let's just move it up. And now I just need to do the top. Let's do another planar mate. So, and there is the completed puzzle cube. That's all you had to do. So you can use a series of basically 2 to 3 planar mates per part, and that will allow you to assemble the whole cube and remove all degrees of freedom. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that video on assembling the puzzle cube using the planar mate, and you could probably use a fasten as well. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.